I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I thought it was important. Any of you sellers receive an email from eBay or a message from eBay, there's a couple messages that are fairly important that I think you need to know about affecting your seller account. One has to do with your managed payments, your transfer from your PayPal to managed payments, some things that you need to know about that. And effective in June, there's going to be some changes with the way they handle your seller fees. So, and it all kind of ties in together. So without any further ado, let's go. So as I mentioned in the opener, there's a couple changes that you need to know about. Every seller on eBay needs to know. And the first one that affects all of us, because some of us are already on managed payments, is the way eBay is going to calculate your seller fees starting in July. And it's important for you to understand this because you may not see it. And you know what, I'm sort of shocked looking at my own balance, but you may not see it on the surface. But if you dig down deep, you're going to see a lot of fees and that you may not be aware of. If you're taking managed payments, you're going to see the ones that I'm looking at. If not, maybe not so much. But in the next few months, all of us are going to be seeing the same thing. So it's important that you understand what it is that you're looking at. First of all, the fee structure is going to change. Now, if you have an above average seller's account or better, you know, above average or top rated, you're okay. This part really doesn't affect you any. However, for those of you who are below average or who happen to be top rated plus, this is definitely going to affect your account. And let me explain. So you understand, top rated seller plus gives you a 10% discount off of the eBay fees that's charged to you. Okay, that's your the end of item fees, so the percentage that eBay charges you. If you are below standard, that has a 4% increase in your seller fees. Okay, and it could be your entire account. It could be limited to any items you sell in a specific category. And so you need to know that, and you need to know how this is going to be calculated. Okay, so with that said, now there's two different groups of people here. There's the sellers that receive an invoice from eBay at the end of the month, and there's sellers who receive an invoice from eBay the middle part of the month. Now, for those who receive their invoice at the end of every month, that's when eBay finally sends you that message, hey, you have 15 days to pay your fees. If you receive that message at the end of the month, this is how it's going to affect you initially, okay? So any changes to your fee structure, because you are now top rated seller plus, or if you are below standard and are being penalized that extra 4%, let's say, and it's going to start in June. So on the 30th of June, when you receive that invoice, okay, if you are top rated seller plus, you're going to receive that discount retroactive from the 1st of June for that entire month's invoice, okay? And it's based on the 20th of June evaluation. So every month, eBay evaluates your account on the 20th, okay, regardless of when you get invoiced. And so based on that evaluation, your either 10% discount for being top rated seller plus, okay, or your penalization for being below standard will then be calculated retro to the 1st of June, even before they evaluated your account. And that's the way it reads in the message that they sent out. So for some of you, it's a good thing. For others, it's absolutely horrible. You know, if you are someone that's above standard, doing the best that you can, let's say you have a run of bad transactions, you just have some tough customers, you have high return rates, or if you have some late shipments. And I don't think eBay is supposed to be calculating defects against you during this whole pandemic, but it seems as if they are going to. But with that said, if you run into some bad luck after the 1st of June, if it knocks you into below standard, you're going to be paying higher fees. Myself, I am top rated seller, not top rated seller plus, so this really isn't going to affect me any. But I know there's a lot of sellers out there, you could be one of them, who are either positively affected by this change or who will be negatively affected, and it's going to blindside you. So that's the first thing, is that change in how they evaluate your account on the 20th of June. Everyone's going to be evaluated based on the various metrics, you know, your late shipment rates, your return rates, your negative feedback, I believe, is a part of that. Okay, so it's something that you need as soon as you can to get in front of. Go check out your metrics, and if you see anything that shouldn't be there, or are some questionable entries that maybe you need to dispute, you need to go to ebay.com/sellerhelp and find the appropriate link and send a message to eBay asking the rep to look in to whatever that defect may be, because it can have a negative, or it could be something that prevents you from being top rated plus, that you need to look into, because it will make a difference in how much you're going to be paying in eBay fees. So the other part of this is managed payments. Okay, and as of the 15th of July, everyone will be expected to be enrolled, and I believe eBay will enroll you into managed payments. Now, the problem with that is eBay automatically enrolling you. You need to give them your banking information, because they're not going to be able to send you any payment if they don't have your banking information. So you will need to enroll by the 15th of July. You definitely do. Okay, so I myself, I have two accounts. I have my main account, which has already been converted over to managed payments. I received an invite last summer, and I'm a part of the managed payments program. My other account is one where I do a lot of auctions, and I have that linked up to my PayPal account. I am waiting until probably the 10th of July before I go in and change over that account. And I just really am not all that happy with managed payments, because what happens is you don't get your money right away. And I know for a lot of you, there's some people who do drop shipping, or there's people who just need the money, right? That money is going to be withheld from you for 2 to 3 business days before it even gets sent to your account. And that's another 2 to 3 business days on top of that, depending on your bank and how fast they release the money to your account. And for some people, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so with managed payments, when you get on managed payments the 15th of July, you're going to be expected to front the money for your shipping labels. You're not going to have access to the money they just paid you for that $20, $30 shipping expense. That's going to come out of your pocket. You're going to have to figure that out. Now, you can either link it to an existing PayPal account, but what money are you going to have in there unless you decide to keep some money in that account? So one thing I do know is that when I run labels, currently I use Pirate Ship, so I use a credit card, okay, and I have that on file with Pirate Ship. And so I have an idea of how much I've spent with them every day in shipping, so I maybe write that down or take note of it. And so as soon as I get the payment 3, 4, 5, 6 days later into my account, okay, I will send that money over to my credit card, and I'm always keeping that zero balance. That's how you can work it out. For those of you who are disciplined enough to keep a credit card aside just for shipping, then you can make this work. Okay. From what I understand, though, I've been doing some larger items, so I've been using FedEx Home and using the eBay's discount off of larger packages, and it's giving me a cheaper discount than what I can normally get when I go to FedEx.com. Okay, and so from when I run my labels on that account that's hooked up with managed payments, I believe what's happening there is they are actually taking that money out of any existing balances that are being held. So that's a good thing, right? But if you don't carry a balance, so I sell anywhere between $300 and $1,500 in sales per day, just depending on what items I have up and the volume I do that day. So for me, that's not a big deal if I run a few labels. For some of you smaller sellers, you may not have a balance, and for what I understand, if you have no balance in your managed payments account when you run that label through eBay, that's going to be tacked on at the end of the month with your invoice. So you need to be very careful with that, because it will have a negative impact if you're expecting to pay $500 that month for eBay invoices and it's $600 or $700 because you didn't calculate the shipping that you did with them. Another thing also that you need to know about as a seller, okay, and this is the downfall with PayPal, and currently if you have managed payments, like right now my account with managed payments, if I get a cancellation, I can give them their money back and the buyer will get a complete refund, and myself as a seller, I will also not lose anything. Okay, with PayPal, if you have a cancellation or refund, you're going to lose about 3% of whatever that is. So for every $100, you're going to lose $3 out of your pocket. You get someone who buys that item from you for $100 and then sends you a message stating, hey, I want to cancel, or sends you a cancellation request. By doing what may be the right thing and processing that cancellation, you are going to lose, with managed payments now, 2.6%. That is the amount eBay is going to charge for every managed payment transaction. That's what they currently charge right now. 2.6% plus a 9.1% final value fee. That's what you're going to be charged. So like 11.7%. If you get a refund or a cancellation request, you're going to lose 2.6%. So off of $100, you're going to lose $2.60, all because someone wants to cancel. Right now, like I said, us managed payment people don't have to worry about that. But guess what? All of us come July 15th are going to have to deal with that issue. And honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I can tell you this. Currently, I allow cancellation requests because it doesn't cost me anything. And I just don't know. I don't know if I get a cancellation request. I may state to the buyer, and I don't even know how to collect this. It may be something I have to invoice them. Is it worth $2.60 off of $100? Maybe if I had a $500 item, it definitely would be. I certainly don't want to be out $12 for a $500 item. I don't think you would either. And so here's the problem. How do we handle it as a seller? What's the best way? How would you handle a situation with a cancellation? It's similar to maybe receiving a PayPal transaction, right? I can tell you on my other account where I do auctions and I have PayPal, if I get a cancellation request, I don't do it. Sorry. For a couple reasons. One, you outbid maybe another serious bidder who would have been serious about buying the item. And two, yeah, you paid for it and then you realized I don't need it, I don't want it. Well, why should I have to pay 3%? And so I think the only time I let people out of those is if they're willing to pay that 3% or allow me to go into PayPal and deduct that 3% from the refund. I don't think you have that option available to you when you're processing a cancellation on managed payments. I know you have on a refund when you are a top rated seller and have managed payments. you can go in there and on a refund offer an adjusted refund amount. Okay, that's a little different. But when you're processing a cancellation, now that one in itself is going to be tricky. So hopefully, if you have an answer on how that's handled, please let me know below in the comments. But as someone who's been dealing with managed payments since the beginning of September, I can tell you that I have no idea how I'm going to approach that situation once I get my first cancellation request from the 15th of July. So, and they're going to happen. These customers, you know, they're you got a lot of wishy-washy people, and unfortunately they think they buy something, or eBay will show them a similar item after they bought your item. For whatever reason, they show a similar item to what I just sold that person, and it might be a few dollars cheaper, and guess what, that customer wants that item and not yours, so they're going to ask you for a cancellation. And so this is also something that's caused by eBay. So the bottom line here is that, to me, eBay just doesn't care about us sellers, and I continue to say that, but it's the truth. It's the way I feel, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way. I understand eBay is a company, they have to make money, right? But not at the expense of the heart of their business. And you know, the more and more they implement things that hurt eBay sellers, they're going to drive people away. And I might be one of those people. Now, currently I do most of my business on eBay. Maybe time to look at other platforms to sell my merchandise, because you know, how can you penalize a seller for something that a buyer does? Yeah, and you can write it off as the cost of doing business, but honestly, it's not fair. It's not fair to me, it's not fair to you. Now, maybe it's fair to their pocketbooks, but I'm not interested in padding their bottom line. And I'm interested in making a living, and if I have merchandise that I'm only making a small markup on, 3% may make a big difference in my bottom line. It seems like eBay is encouraging people to cancel by showing similar items, right? I don't appreciate that at all either. So what do you think about this whole thing? Did you know about it? Did you catch the part where they stated that some of your fees will not be returned if there's a cancellation or a refund? I like the way that they sort of changed the verbiage around in such a way in that message that sort of came off as it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. Anytime that you're penalizing a seller for a buyer's wishy-washiness or mistake is definitely not cool with me. And so I'm going to leave it at that, and leave comments below. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And with that, I wish you all the best, and we'll talk to you next time.